All right. Another hurricane in the books. Another hurricane, much ado about nothing.
These workers accidentally hit a main
I sure thought we was gonna be in for on this one.
Really stinky.
But you know what? We barely got any rain. We barely got any wind. And the next thing, so I went to bed after I did my live, waiting for the power to go off. Never happened. Woke up this morning, the hurricane was gone. It was turning out in the Atlantic Ocean. We got diddly squat nothing off of this thing. You know, when they predict the hurricane's gonna hit, I'd rather it hit than miss. But for the last few, we've been getting a major miss.
Chicken finger looks like a boomerang.
And what that does,
Avalanches
every time
these guys should be happy that they survive without any
a
injuries.
major storm hitting our area and it doesn't hit, it makes us become, it's like crying wolf. And we get used to them predicting that and they don't hit. So when one comes along that they predict gonna hit, we're gonna think, well, much ado about nothing, and it's gonna bust our bus. I don't know how we didn't get anything off of that, but we did. This here tomorrow, I'm going to go out on my scooter. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh my goodness. I forgot what I was going to say. I'll bring it up in a minute.
Anything, anytime soon.
I've been watching a lot of this one guy. Now where it did hit was down south of us. This guy had his sailboat pulled up to a dock somewhere and had it tied up. And he didn't evacuate. He stayed in it.
The plant swallowed up the entire place.
He stayed in that stuff.
Made it out safely.
And I was just reading an article about it. He come out of it all right. No damage to his boat, no damage to him. But I don't know how he got through that, because it was pretty bad all around him. And that wasn't a big sailboat. You know, people want to love to live near coastal water. They like to live on boats. They like to have riverfront property and live on that riverfront, all that stuff.
Might have overloaded the barge.
Well, every now and then, those cotton-picking rivers flood. They go over the banks. which caused me to remember one time in 1972. Me and my wife bought this land, and it's right on the creek. It was called Cobble Creek.
That's a
What a very big creek.
Moments ever caught on camera. If
Or
these photos
anything.
left you holding your breath, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell
Well,
for unforgettable footage.
One time
Stay safe.
it come a tropical storm, and it rained for 3 solid days. And one night, we seen the ground was getting awful wet out there. We lived about 200 feet from the creek, Cobble Creek. And one night we had gone to bed.
The dramatic moment when a significant part of a cliff collapses, taking over a minute for the dust to dissipate.
And
to a landslide devastating
we had a
sea
mobile
in
home.
Seattle, or severe landslide risks
It
have
wasn't
emerged in
high
Grays
off
Harbor
the
County
ground.
following heavy overnight rainfall. Thank you for being a part of our channel. Get ready for exciting escapades and fascinating explorations.
And my wife woke up to go to the bathroom.
Multiple mudslides have occurred on the
And
outskirts of Guatemala City, with an estimated
She raised up the
350
bed,
people missing.
put her feet in the floor, and she was in the water. And she started hollering, RM, RM. She called me RM. The floor's wet. I jumped up, sure enough, there was about 2 inches of water on the floor of the
Emergency
house.
response teams are diligently using shovels and pickaxes to search for additional
Jennifer
bodies
was
amidst
in
the
her
rubble of the
crib.
collapsed hillside.
So I jumped up, turned the porch light on, and looked out, and the water was
Located
up,
in New Zealand's North Island,
coming in
is the
our
largest
house.
and
That's
most
how
populous
deep the
urban
water
area
was
in
from the
country.
creek.
Auckland has endured prolonged heavy rain, beginning
So
with
we grabbed
unprecedented
some
downpours
clothes and
flooding on
stuff and
Friday,
headed out
February
to the
01,
car,
2023.
which it was
Rural
up
Hunger Bay
over
on
the
Thames
hub
Coast Road,
couch.
SH25 was
On
currently
the car,
inaccessible
the
due
water
to a
was.
significant rock fall.
I didn't even know if the
Contractors had
car was
indicated that
going to
this
start
portion of
so
the
we
road
could
will
get the
remain
heck
closed
out of
overnight.
there. And sure
Jawa Srinagar
enough,
National Highway is one of the
it
two roadways
started.
that connects the Kashmir Valley with the rest of India.
And we got in, we got the car up and started. And what's that noise? Hold on a minute.
A massive
got
boulder
something
broke
wrong
free
up
from the
here,
mountain
crying
and tumbled
out loud.
downward, generating a deafening roar as it crashed, blocking the road with rocks. Fortunately, no one was caught in the debris.
I didn't know that thing was running. But anyway, so we got out on the road, and our only way out of there, well, not the only way, but the way we normally go, we had to cross the bridge. Well, the water was over the bridge, so we was afraid to go that way, so we went the long way around and was headed to Charlotte, to my wife's sister's house. So so that told me then I don't ever want to live near a creek or a river or a lake, or God forbid, the ocean. You people that want to do that, you're crazy. You're crazy. And by the way, I just found out if you wanted to buy hurricane insurance, flood insurance, it's almost impossible to get it. And if you do find a place that offers it, it's 4 times expensive more than the normal rate. You don't fool around with Mother Nature at all. 'Cause that water, it don't take much water to knock you on your feet or much water to get up in your car. And you sure enough don't try to drive out of somewhere unless you're 100% positive that under that water there's a road there. Because chances are you're going to run where there ain't no road and you're going to be sitting there stuck, stranded. Don't fool with Mother Nature. It's absolutely crazy, and no, I do not want to live near the water. Oh, it's nice when everything's fine, the weather's fine. But it don't take much for that to change. Don't want to live near no water. My sister and her husband, my baby sister's the one that lives in Asheville, North Carolina. I haven't heard anything from her yet. Her and her husband, they like to go on these cruises. They've been in over 50 so far. They're shooting for 100. Ain't no way I'm gonna get on a daggone boat that goes out on the ocean. No cotton picking way whatsoever. I've been on one ship that had to cross the Atlantic Ocean from Bremerhaven, Germany to New York City. And that was enough for me. Because I'll tell you what's the daggone truth. The closer we got to the United States, the rougher the weather got. And it got so bad, they had to put up ropes and stuff strung around everywhere so people could grab hold of, because the boat would go up and then it'd go down. Then it'd go sideways. And one time I got up on deck, I had to throw up. I was sick the whole 9 days. And I grabbed this rope and I was hanging at the rail, and I looked out here, all I could see was sky. I looked the other way, all I could see was a big valley of water. And that ship would go up, and when the back end would raise up out of the water, you could feel the vibration where the screws, the propellers was turning, and they wasn't hitting nothing, just barely hitting the water. And they go down like that, and they go boom, 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 boom. Just shake the holy crap out of you. And just so happened where my bunk was, where I slept that whole 9 days, there was a shaft that went up. There was a metal cover over it that went through there going to the screws, the propellers. And every time that happened, you could hear it hitting that water. And I said my prayers 2 or 3 times a day, because I didn't think we was going to make it. But turns out that was just par for that trip. No frickin' way am I getting on no boat to go out on the ocean. Oh, they're a lot safer and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Well, if you think that, go on YouTube and look up cruises gone crazy and stuff like that. I see it's got videos of that stuff, people take videos of that going on, and I'm sitting there laughing my butt off. And to think you feel, I'm thinking you people pay money to go on these cruises, and look at you. They're falling all over the place. Furniture sliding across the floor. Ceilings falling in. Oh, and they pay money for that. No, not the dauber. You can have it, buddy. I ain't lost a dang thing out on that ocean. If I ever got to go back to Germany again for a visit or something, I'd have to go by plane. There ain't no way I'd take a boat, and I'm not crazy about planes either. I like cars and buses and trains. If your motor quits, you pull off the side of the road and get help. If you're in a cotton picking airplane, if your motor's quit, where are you going to go? You're going to go down, that's for sure. But it's not going to be pleasant. No, I ain't lost nothing in the air. I ain't lost nothing in the ocean. And these days, you hear about train wrecks a lot. I used to feel pretty safe. I would still feel pretty safe on trains. I feel pretty safe on cars. I feel pretty safe on like a Greyhound bus or a Trailways bus. But I just don't. I don't really hold on. I lost something. I just don't like to take unnecessary chances. That includes cruise ships. That I need to Google, find out when the last cruise ship was sunk. Well, the I know when it was, that Italian ship that I forget the name of it, something Concordia. It was an Italian ship. Quite a few people died in that.
Bro.
And it capsized right near the shore, so it didn't go all the way down, but people died. I would fly if I had to. That's why I'm probably never going to go anywhere like out of the country or something, because I have to fly or take a boat. I ain't lost nothing out there, folks. And I'm not keen on long trips and stuff. My daughter's got a friend at the end of the month that she's taking my daughter on a trip to do something in Texas. I'm gonna be gone the weekend.
You're so right.
I get really nervous when she goes away like that. When she told me about it, I said, "You can't afford that." Well, it ain't costing me nothing. Well, I don't care. That's a long trip. Accidents happen. People say I shouldn't think that way. But I didn't think that way when I let that girl go pick my son up at the school. I didn't think that way. But he died. So hell yeah, I think that way now. I know stuff happens.
Bro, this guy's not due.
And it happens to normal, everyday people. I don't think I'm a normal, everyday person, but I'm a person. And I know stuff can happen. And I don't know what I would do if something happened to I don't know. I would want to die. But then there's my grandbaby, my 16-year-old. Man, I just don't think I could deal with it again. It is 13 minutes after midnight. Wow. But I think that way because it happened to me, I didn't think my wife was going to pass away at age 63, but it happened. I'm so lonesome. I got my daughter and my 2 grandsons here and my other one across town. But when you've been married for 48 years, and she's been right there beside you every day, every night. Then she falls that night, goes to the hospital, in the hospital for a week, and dies. Everything, my whole world just collapsed. And sometimes I'll be laying in there in the bed, and one of the cats or my dog will jump up on the bed there and lay beside me and stuff. And I love my pets, but sometimes I actually think that I would trade them in a heartbeat for my wife. 48 years of crawling in that bed right next to me. And the only bad times about being in the bed with me or her sometimes, and she done it too, get gas and fart. And she tried to sneak them out and not let me know she farted till the smell hit me. But if I farted, I just fan the covers, get it over with quick. Boy, she got mad at me for that. I would be on a trip somewhere in the car, and I'd let one rip. She couldn't hear it. It's kind of muffled, but the smell kind of filters around. Oh, my goodness. One time we was taking a trip going up to her mama's to North Carolina, and I had been in an accident. It wasn't my fault either. The guy, there's another guy, hit me in the side and he got my fender. Had to replace the fender. Well, I'm a do-it-yourselfer. I was going to fix all that and do the body work, then take it to the paint shop and get it repainted. Well, I got the new fender put on and the headlights and everything, but I didn't have that headlight lined up just right. And we get almost to where her mama lives, and we have a big mountain to cross, and it just zigzags all around. And it's dark. And my headlight beam was pointed off to the left and pointed up. And as we was going around them curves and them big cliffs and stuff, she see that light pointing up on the cliff. It got her tickled. She got laughing. She couldn't hardly stop. But it did look kind of funny. But I didn't know it was that bad out of line. But yeah, I got a guy pulled out. He come between two cars from the parking lot from my left, and there's 2 lanes there, and I was in the far lane, and he come between them cars to pull in there, and he didn't see me coming, and I sideswiped in front of his truck. Boy, I was so ticked off, because I had, let's see, who was I picking up at school? I was picking up, no, it wasn't Joey. Had to have been Joey. I had to be out there to the bus stop where he gets off at and pick him up, and a couple other kids that belonged to some other people I give rides to. And I got out of that car and that guy pulled up front, and I was cussing, I was raising holy Cain. And he done said he was sorry and all that stuff, and I just kept on. He said, look, I done said I'm sorry. If you don't shut up, I'm going to punch you. So I shut up. I didn't do no good to sit there and raise Cain. It was already done. Already done. That's the last accident I was ever in. I think. I can't remember. But anyway, I don't want to live near no water at all. But if I had to live near some, it would be a small creek or a lake. But no way, no how would I live on the coast, especially in Florida. And it don't have to be right there on the water, but when the hurricane's hitting them coastlines like it just did with this Hurricane Milton, I mean, it cleaned their clock there around Tampa. I mean, you get this surge, and I mean, when it's a surge, it's a surge. It comes up high. And if you're right there on the coast, you just about can't get away from it. And the same thing happened in North Carolina, in Asheville. The French Broad River, the Swananoa, and another one that comes through there, all those things went way over the banks. And people live close to them rivers. Not this boy, no way, no how. I feel so bad for him, but you know what? If you have to have a place on the ocean, then you made that choice. And you know full well what could happen. You might not realize just how bad it is. But I was close to a surge one time before when it wasn't even a hurricane. A tropical storm was coming by. We was in a motel right on the beach almost. And we didn't think much about the storm. But boy, and it hit during the daytime. And I kept seeing that. I looking out there on the beach, I kept seeing that water come up, come up, come up. And directly it was in the street. And when it was in the street, we had 2 more days to go at the hotel there. We got the heck out of there. I wasn't waiting till it got up to, and sure enough, it got up in the hotel. Nope, you don't fool with Mother Nature. I'm not really afraid of hurricanes because I don't live in a real high flood risk area. Now this street I live on, it said it's in a flood zone. I don't know where that come from because there's no water near us. The closest water is about 5 or 6 miles away. So maybe from rain backup or something. I don't know. But don't want us to do no waterfront property, and especially no oceanfront property. No, sir. And I mean, and every time a big storm comes and they get kind of wiped out, they whining and boning about it, you know. Well, you had it built there. You bought it. You bought it, mister or ma'am. But then turn right around and they build back. I don't know how but they can't hardly get any hurricane insurance anymore. And you can't blame the insurance companies for that. Because if they're on waterfront property like that, and there's a hurricane coming, if it hits in their area, they sure enough can get some repercussions from it. So it's wonderful to live on a creek or live on the edge of a river. What's the name of that? There's a river right down from us. I'll forget the name of it. I think the Swanee River floods occasionally. I've been on the Swanee. I've been on camp out with the Boy Scouts on the Swanee River. That's when we got started late. The whole troop did. We got down there. It was getting dark, and we had to take a canoe trip down to our campsite on the Swanee. And Donovan did. He hated to get in the canoe. He didn't like. They scared him to death. He was afraid of water. And I was in the canoe with a couple other people and one lady. Donovan was in the canoe with the scoutmaster and a couple other boys. We'd be going that river, it done got dark. You just barely could see. And every once in a while I hear Donovan holler, "Poppy, get me out of here." And I hear Mr. Ocean Scoutman say, "Donovan, you're fine." "No, I'm not." Bless his heart. He didn't like them. I guess he'd be all right with them now. I don't know, but he was afraid of anything like that moved around like a balance on a canoe or walk across a footbridge across the stream of water. He didn't like to do that. Even when they went on an overnight stay at the USS Yorktown aircraft carrier in South Carolina, they got to it, you know, and there's a little bridge thing that goes across to the deck, and there's water under that bridge. He would not walk across that bridge. And they called me up and wanted to know what to do. And I said, "Well, I don't know. Y'all got him?" And then Bobby Moore, he's a deputy sheriff here in this county, he got on the phone. He said, "It's fine, Russell. We put him in a golf cart and drove him across." So everything got took care of him. They had to drive him back across when it come. And once he got on that ship, he went below deck, and that's where he stayed. He would not get up on that deck and walk around. He wasn't even 18 then. I guess he was 16 or 17, something like that. But he anything with balance, he had to go to a lot of things before they trained him about balance and everything. But he grew out of it. He grew out of it, and he was totally afraid of clouds in the sky. That's probably why he didn't like to go outside much. But me and my wife, we'd be going to town, and Don would be looking up at the sky and out the window. and looking at them clouds, and he'd start, what kind of clouds are those? Are they going to move? And just seemingly unrelated questions, but he was scared of them clouds. Scared of them clouds. That was my baby. And then there was a time, it all had something to do with his cerebral palsy.
What?
There was a time we took him to the dentist, and the dentist put braces on his teeth, the bottoms and the top, and on the way back home, this was in Gaines when we were coming back to Sister, with Jim saying, I don't like these, I can't stand them, I don't like them, I don't like them. And lo and behold, when we got to the house, he didn't have no braces on, he tore them off somehow or other. Took him back to the dentist. The dentist said, well, I could put more on, but given his condition and everything, he's probably going to tear them right up too. So he never did get to wear braces much. But I think he was about 13 or 14 then when that happened. But he was my baby. And now he's my nurse. Take him. He's still kind of moody at times. For the most part, though, he's doing all right, and he's working. He's doing something I never thought he would do. I never thought he would work. But he's working, and he must be doing his job. All right, I've been yapping long enough. Almost 40 minutes. So, folks, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya. Hope everybody's doing okay. Especially those that was in a hurricane zone. See ya.